And also, are the signatures on the sheet they passed out, are they all within the city of Stockbridge? There's so many things. Oh, and another thing that really concerns me is what's already mentioned. If the restaurant fails, then what? They've been working on this for a long time. We were only aware of it when the rezoning sign went up.
10 seconds.
Excuse me?
10 seconds.
Okay, all right, well, I want to appreciate you, say I appreciate your time, and I wish goodwill amongst all of us. Whether it's passed or declined or denied, we still believe, and I would appreciate it if they go to McDonald's and put the restaurant in that area where they live, and not in Stockbridge on my street where I live. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you. And someone else want to speak in opposition? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. My name is Jocelyn Williams, and I want to thank you for letting me talk tonight. I want to thank the restaurant owner. Sounds like a beautiful idea that she has. I live at 190 Banks Drive. I've been there since 1992. I'm in total opposition to having the area rezoned. I know that change is inevitable, but changing the zoning in this area from O1 to C2 would be very difficult for me as a Henry County resident to accept. I currently work in Atlanta and leave at 5 a.m. each morning to make sure I get ahead of the morning traffic so I can get to work on time. I try to come home early in the afternoon to beat the evening traffic, but most times I get caught in it. When leaving Atlanta, I have to be mindful to make sure to get to the stop sign at Flippin Road before 4 o'clock p.m. So whenever time the restaurant starts, I will be very, very concerned about that. This is necessary for me to leave Atlanta before 4 if I want to fill up my car at the BP gas station located at the corner of Flippin Road and North Henry Boulevard. After this time, 4 o'clock, I am not allowed by law with the traffic sign. I cannot make a left turn due to the high volume of traffic. This did not exist 20 years ago. Trying to exit our BP gas station turning down onto Flippin is very difficult. Most drivers block the driveway when I'm trying to get out, and it's dangerous to make a left-hand turn on Flippin Road due to the limited view area. On Wednesday, June 5, 2012, I was coming from a movie, and the section in front of the BP gas station was completely blocked with emergency vehicles. I could not get down Flippin Road to go to my home, so I had to take a detour down North Henry Boulevard. This is an example of the heavy congestion that can occur if a restaurant is successful as the owner had said it will be, with the wonderful supporters that here. That means that everyone will be coming to this small section of Flippin Road. I called Henry County Department of Transportation, and as they said here, that it would not be a good idea to bring a restaurant that close according to your own zoning and planning, the young lady to my right behind me. I thought that the zoning was very important, wonderful, outstanding, vibrant, such a good job, that an expansion project must be planned. They must not widen the road, they must not make a traffic sign. But according to Mr. Kenny Davis, Mr. Kenny Morris, that is not the case. He informed me as far as he knew nothing was being planned, expanded, or built for that area. The crowded conditions and the way the road is designed make it difficult already for regular traffic, and having an influx of a successful restaurant right there in the congested area would make it very difficult to get to other businesses that are already established. I have often gone to various businesses, as they say in Stockbridge, after getting home, resting. I ask that everyone will just give me a few more minutes. Mayor, and I thank you. My job is very stressful as a teacher, and the possibility of having 30 to 45 minutes. Thank you, Mayor.
Anyone else want to speak in opposition? Going once, going twice. Last call for speaking in opposition. I have two questions I'd like to get clarified for the council. The question was asked, do you propose alcohol sales? Can you address that? You just say it from there. Are you going to The question was, do you propose alcohol sales?
One thing I said to members of this council,
Okay, I'm sorry, I guess I better get Sherry to be our mic person.
one thing I've said to members of this council, and the council members have responded to me, their job is to determine whether I'm O&I or CD2, not to run my business. And a particular council said to me, you're right, we cannot run your business. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna let the neighbors run the business. I'm gonna follow within your constraints. If you have a C2, then whatever C2 allows me to do, that's what I need to have the right to do. Whatever order allows me to do, that's what I need to have the right to do. But the council job is not to run personal business.
Second question I heard to do with what, out of those petitions you sent up here, do you have an idea? I mean, are they all residents?
These are Stockbridge residents, 300 signatures.
I just wanted to try and get the information on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have a motion at this time from the council.
Madam Stewart,
Senator.
I'd like just to make a personal comment to everybody who's here this evening. Over the past several weeks, I've had a number of telephone calls, I've had a number of emails, I've researched this to death, I've spoken to people at the zoning board, I've met with Ms. Vivian at the property on Friday, and this afternoon, between 4:30 and 5:30 this evening, I received 17 phone calls from people regarding this issue. So I would like to thank our citizens for voicing their opinions and letting them be known.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Thomas.
I also would like to comment on this issue. I also have received a number of calls in favor and against this project. I'm a praying man, and I had to pray on this issue. Let me say that when I ran for office, I encouraged economic development. I ran on supporting small businesses, minority businesses, and I still favor that. On the other side of that is, as many of you may know, I have a history of working in neighborhoods and encouraging citizens to fight for what they believe in. When we run for this office, we're put here to make hard decisions. This is not an easy one. But someone told me that we have to make decisions based on what is best for the city of Stockbridge. We know that whatever decision we make here tonight, it's not going to be favorable for some citizens. But you must know that it is not personal for us. It definitely is not personal. But we do have to make a decision. And I commend those citizens for coming forward and fighting for what they believe in, because I've always advocated for that. And many of you know I've encouraged our citizens in a particular section to fight for sidewalks, and they won that. So, but it's a hard decision for me. As I stated, I had to pray on it. I had to let God lead me on that. So, just in saying that, I just want citizens to know that these are not easy decisions for us to make. And all we can do is make a decision based on what we think is best for the city of Stockbridge, not, favoritism for people that we may know or citizens, but we just have to make a decision based on what's best for the city of Stockbridge. Thank you.
Anybody else? So I need a motion.
I make a motion to deny.
Motion to deny by Mr. Cochran. Do I have a second?
A second.
Steinberg has a second. Any discussion? All in favor of denying it? 2, 3, Opposed? 1, 2. It is a 3-2 to deny it. So rules. 3-2. Okay, next item on the agenda is item number 6. Be presented by Councilmember Whitman as an ordinance amending the code of ordinances of the city of Stockbridge, citizens of the offense of criminal trespass.
I'll let the room clear.
Mayor, may I say something real quick? I apologize, Brad, I'm not here with all our emergency room right now, so thank you for your time and consideration.
But those are the rules. Okay, Ms. Bushman, would you like to proceed with your
All right, good evening. This ordinance was brought to me, we discussed this at the work session last week, many of you weren't there. I am chairman of the Public Safety Committee, and it was brought before us by Anita Gunrow, who is in our clerk of our court, our city court. We have an ordinance currently that protects us if someone is criminally trespassing in a vehicle but not on our property. They have had several incidences in the courts where they couldn't prosecute the person because we didn't have ordinance on the books, and they would have to send it down to state court in McDonough. On the second hand, we've had some problems with some personal properties here, some of us on this council. And as the mayor has stated, we do, he's let the citizens know we have a gang problem. Most of the time, before gang members do anything, what do? They criminally trespass. Currently, we have no ordinance on the books. So it came before the Public Safety Committee, which is the correct protocol, and was brought forth to us. Mr. Steinberg and I had gone back and forth with our legal counsel because we wanted, if someone was going to come to criminally trespass on our property, we wanted them to be punished to the full extent of the law. And we went back and forth on the $1,000, $500 process. So it's before us. We decided we'd stay in line with most jurisdictions, and I think the state law, is that correct, Bill? In 500 be the punishment amount for criminal trespass. And so we're going to bring it before the council for a vote because I want our citizens to be protected. Anyone that steps on your property, the mayor brought forth about eggs. Eggs do damage. They peel up paint, they do property damage. I want to make every citizen here safe, not just the kids, not just the adults, but the elderly people too. And currently we have nothing on our books for the property of criminal trespass.
Understood.
Mr. Steinberg?
I personally had a sit-down conversation with Chief Goings, who's the captain of our police station precinct here at North Precinct in Stockbridge, and he has actively encouraged us to go forward with this ordinance.
Anybody else? Just to reiterate again, our lawyers did the research on it. We'll be the minority of the church, cities that enact this. There's already books on it there. They've been prosecuting it here in the city for years. It goes to the state courts. To me, and the state courts is a little bit higher level. They can deal with it there, and I'm all for letting the state courts continue. There's never been a problem here, a outstanding problem. We can't chase each little one that happens on there, but that's your call. So, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance for criminal trespass on personal property.
Have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? No discussion, all in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4. Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstained? Okay, number 7 is presented by David Bellard, Treasurer, ordinance to amend the code of ordinances so to verify the city's ordinance relating to assessment, collection, and sanitation fees. Item number 7.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a proposed change to the ordinance. There's no change in fees. There's no impact on existing revenues. It's simply a housekeeping ordinance change that would give the city the authority to bill sanitation customers in the same manner that it has since November 2009.
Any discussion? Anybody have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance.
Second?
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor? 2, 4, 5, 0. And number 8 is presented by Treasurer and Mayor Pro Tem, is an ordinance amending the city's budget so as to transfer $25,000 from the general fund balance to the government body fund so as to cover incurred expenses by the mayor of the contract with a qualified executive recruiting firm to assist in recruitment of qualified candidates for the position of city administrator. Dr. Ward's correct.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, this is one that I brought before the council at a special call meeting last Tuesday. The council passed a resolution authorizing the expenditure of $25,000 for an executive search. This is simply to fund that mandate, providing $25,000 in the governing authority body for the mayor to do so.
Mr. Mayor, correction that we need to address is the language in the ordinance bill. The Public Works Director piece in the documents that were set forth by Mercer Group did not include that. And for the budget that we authorized here, we probably supersede 25, and this has to go through on the budget amendment. So if we could just strike Public Works Director piece out of that, then we would be inside of this resolution, this ordinance.
The council certainly is within its authority to do that.
Mayor Stewart,
Mr. Steinberg.
if I read the document correctly from the Mercer Group, it should come in at about $19,500 for the city administrator job, which is $15,000 a reduced fee and approximately a reduced fee of $4,500 for estimated expenses, down from $8,000.
And if I may address the council, Mr. Mayor, under our procurement ordinance, and correct me, the city attorney, that I'm not aware of the Mercer Group, but I trust we'll have 3 quotes for 3 firms prior to executing contract.
I'm not sure that that relates to this particular piece of legislation. Suppose we can address that when the time comes. But this piece of legislation is simply the $25,000 for the city administrator position.
Okay.
For clarification, Mr. Mayor, if you may not. This is a clarification, even though the documents that have been sent forth to the mayor at this time is only by the one group, the Mercer Group. We're not voting on what group we're going to use or not to use in this particular ordinance. We're just authorizing the dollar value. So that's the reason why we're not having to deal with that this time. So I make it with striking the Public Works piece in the ordinance, make a motion to approve.
Second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? 4, 5, 0. Item number 9, again presented by the Treasurer and Mayor Pro Tem, is an ordinance amending the city's budget so as to transfer $12,000 from the general fund balance to the records court personnel services, salaries, wages, funds, so as to cover incurred payroll expenses to maintain the position of part-time municipal court clerk on the city's payroll through December 31st, 2012.
Mr. Mayor and Council, this is a budget amendment as you stated for $12,000. This is a request administratively that was requested to be brought forth by the mayor. This position is a position that is assigned over the Henry County Police Department. It was funded in the 2012 budget through mid-May. It's not a position that was funded through the end of the year. Best research I can find is that there was a handshake agreement with the county to fund this position. The purpose is to actually keep court citations. This position, the key in the tickets, of course, is covered by a service delivery agreement. However, this agreement was put in place, I understand, from the previous city manager, Ted Strickland, at a time when the police department had asked for additional resources in order to get tickets to our court in a timely fashion.
Motion.
Mr. Mayor, just food for thought,